Okay, so hopefully at this point you've watched the thesis construction video, you've made your way through the how to write an introduction and construct an introductory paragraph. So now we're ready to move on to the body of your 5 paragraph essay. And as I've shown you in the graphic here at the bottom of this screen, the body of your paper is the bulk of your paper. It is where you're going to spend the most time because you're really trying to help readers to understand why your thesis statement is in fact true or why they ought to believe what it is that you're trying to get them to believe. And so in a 5 paragraph essay, the body of your paper is exactly 5 paragraphs long. Now, that may not always hold true because not every paper that you are going to write is going to be exactly 5 paragraphs. Remember, this is a 5 paragraph essay we're learning. This is one type of paper, and this type of paper will help you to understand concepts that you can apply to just about every other paper that you will write. But it is plausible that you may write a paper for a class in the future where you only have one body paragraph, or where you have 6, 7, 8, 9, 14 different body paragraphs. But what is going to be common to all those body paragraphs is what I'm going to show you today with this 5 paragraph essay format. Each paragraph in the body is going to have a topic sentence. And what that topic sentence is going to do is mirror one of those thesis reasons that you stated at the end of your intro paragraph. So remember, if you've got a thesis that says, I believe this because of this reason, and this reason, each of those 3 reasons is going to become the focus of the body paragraph. What you're also going to make sure that you do, and we're going to see this in just a minute, is that each topic sentence has a transitional word or phrase that makes it easy for your readers to follow as they are going through your paper, so that they understand, hey, I see that you're switching focus from this one body paragraph, now you're moving on to something else. So, what is the topic sentence? It is the first sentence of every body paragraph, and as I said, it's taken from one of your thesis reasons. But essentially, as I put down here at green at the bottom, it's the point of that paragraph. What you're doing in the topic sentence is you're letting your reader know, hey, look, in this paragraph, I'm only going to be focusing on this topic right here, and that's all I'm going to be dealing with in this paragraph. And so that helps your reader to know, okay, here's what I can expect to read in the course of this paragraph, and nothing more than that. All I will read is what supports that topic sentence. And it's worth noting that this is what instructors mean, or professors mean, when they say, hey, look, this point you've got here is off topic. That literally means you have stated a topic at the beginning of your paragraph, and you are making a point later on that is not on that topic. And we're going to see how that works in just a few minutes. All right, so let me show you a couple of examples of good topic sentences. Another reason that smoking is bad is because it ruins a person's teeth. Now, this is a really strong topic sentence. And what is amazing about this sentence is, because it is a good topic sentence, it lets readers know a lot of information in just a very short amount of space. This transition right here, another reason, clues readers into, hey, this is not the first reason that has been addressed. So if you zoned out, I am now moving on to another reason that smoking is bad. And look what is also present right here within this sentence. Smoking is bad is the thesis claim for the entire paper. So I've reminded my reader, hey, look, just so you're clear, I'm still dealing with this focus for the entire paper. My claim, smoking is bad. But in this body paragraph, I'm just going to be dealing with how it ruins a person's teeth. Maybe in the past paragraph, I've dealt with medical problems it causes, like, say, lung cancer or something along those lines. But in this paragraph, I'm only going to be dealing with how it ruins a person's teeth. So notice, I've let people know, hey, just so you're clear, I've just got finished addressing something. I'm still addressing my thesis claim that smoking is bad, but I'm also going to let you know exactly what this paragraph is going to be about. That's 3 pieces of information in a very short span of space. And it's nice to remind people, especially in your second and third body paragraphs, the thesis claim, because You've probably had the experience before where you've read on the page 2 or 3 of somebody's paper and you go, now wait a minute, what is this paper arguing? And you have to flip back and look at the beginning of the paper to remind yourself what this person is writing about. When you include that information in a topic sentence, nobody has to look back. They don't get lost. And when they don't get lost, they don't stop reading your paper. Very, very important, especially if someone is grading it. Let me show you another example. In addition to the interior, the Ford F-150 is also a great truck because it has wonderful suspension. Again, this is a really strong topic sentence, and it actually includes a little more information than the last topic sentence did. When we look at this sentence, we can see this person is still reminding people of what the entire thesis claim for the entire paper is. The Ford F-150 is a great truck. But what this person has done also is, instead of just reminding people, I just got finished covering something, they've said, let me tell you exactly where we've come from in the last paragraph. I just got finished talking about the interior. I am still discussing why the Ford F-150 is a great truck. But in this paragraph, I'm going to be dealing with the wonderful suspension of the Ford F-150. Your reader cannot get lost when you give them this much information, because if they zone out and forget that you were just discussing the interior, you've reminded them of that, you've reminded them of the thesis claim, and now you're letting them know exactly where you're going in this paragraph. The poem also helps us to understand homelessness by pointing out the feelings of one homeless man. Again, you're reminding your reader that we are still covering how the poem is helping us to understand homelessness, but in this one paragraph, I'm showing how the poem is pointing out the feelings of a homeless person. Maybe the previous paragraph dealt with the living conditions of this homeless man. But at the very least, I know that this person is moving on and is now showing me something different about what the poem is showing. Notice that in every single one of these, as I've pointed out, they are referring back to the paper's thesis statement. So while that's not necessary for your first thesis or for your first topic sentence, because obviously, and we'll see this in a minute, your topic sentence is for your first body paragraph right behind your thesis statement, which came right before it, so you really don't need to remind them of that. And we'll see that in just a few minutes. All right, the other thing I wanted to point out is those transitions that come in those topic sentences are very, very helpful. Another reason, let somebody know, just so you're clear, I just got finished addressing something else. This is another. So obviously that transition works really well as a second or third body paragraph. In addition to the interior, the poem also helps us understand. So notice that transitional words and phrases don't always have to be the first words and phrases. They can come in the middle of a sentence, but what they do is they help people to realize, oh, okay, you are now moving on, so this is going to make it much clearer for me. On the other hand, there are many reasons owning a pit bull might be a bad idea. Notice with this type of transition, what I am letting somebody know is I am intentionally switching focus and discussing the exact opposite of what I just discussed. Because notice, without this transition, if the writer would have just said, there are many reasons owning a pit bull might be a bad idea, somebody may read it and say, well, wait a minute, you just said it was a good idea in the previous paragraph. I am intentionally doing this. I'm trying to show you both sides of this. So on the other hand, makes it easy not only for your readers to follow what you're doing, but make them less skeptical of your sanity because you're arguing something that is the exact opposite of what you just said. Unlike his previous claims about drug usage, Smith does feel there are some positives to legalizing drugs. Notice this one word, unlike, helps to do the same thing on the other hand did, which is show I just got finished talking, more than likely, about Smith feeling that there are negatives to legalizing drugs. Now I'm going to talk about what he sees as the positives to legalizing drugs. So those are transitional words and phrases, and those need to be part and parcel of your topic sentences. Now, let me show you 4 different ways that you can actually compose topic sentences, because, and none of these is any more correct than the other. It's just different pieces of information that you can include to mix it up and make your paper sound less formulaic as you are writing it. So the first absolute most basic type of topic sentence is going to simply state one of the thesis reasons along with having a transition. So it would look like this. Finally, tech offers multiple options for education. I know that this paragraph is going to explain to me how tech offers multiple options for education. Now, because this is in the final body paragraph, as I can see by this transitional words finally, the problem for readers sometimes is when we use this type of topic sentence for a final topic sentence, we don't really remind readers of much, or we don't remind them of anything, and so they may be more inclined to get lost if we just do this simple type of topic sentence, which just states the reason. But at the very basic, this is still acceptable. It's okay. First, my car gave me an abundance of freedom. Again, I don't know what the thesis claim for this paper is in this topic sentence, but because this is the first topic sentence, because I have just mentioned my thesis statement right before this, this one is probably works really, really well for a topic sentence for your first body paragraph because they don't need a reminder of all that other information. They've just read it. So that is one type. Now, you can also list a topic sentence that states the reason of your thesis statement and reminds people of that thesis claim as well. Listen to the difference. Finally, tech is a great choice for high school graduates because it offers multiple options for education. So notice, I've reminded people here's what my thesis claim is, and now I'm going to be talking about the multiple options for education. Notice the difference between this one up here and this one. Reminded them of the thesis, still let them know what the focus is of this paragraph. Furthermore, my car is the best gift I've ever received because it gave me an abundance of freedom. Remind people of the thesis claim, then give them the reason that that paragraph is going to deal with. So that works really well too. Here is another one. Instead of reminding people of the thesis statement, you can remind them of the previous paragraph's topic. Now, obviously, this doesn't work at all for your first body paragraph, but for your second and third, this might work well. In addition to the stellar facilities, tech offers multiple options for education. So notice I've reminded them that in the last body paragraph I talked about tech stellar facilities. In this one, I'm going to help them to understand the multiple options for education that you have at tech. Besides the fact that it showed my mom loved me, my car also gave me an abundance of freedom. Remind them where you came from, show them where you're about to go. Now, the coup de grace, the one that gives them all the information they could possibly want to know, is when you let them not only know what the focus of that paragraph is going to be, but you also remind them of the thesis and remind them of where they came from in the last body paragraph, so that it looks like this. In addition to the stellar facilities, tech is a great choice for high school graduates because it offers multiple options for education. I've let them know where I came from, the focus of the paper, the thesis claim, and where we're about to go in this body paragraph. Besides the fact that it showed my mom loved me, my car is the best gift I've ever received because it gave me an abundance of freedom. Once again, remind them where you come from, remind them what the focus of the paper is, and where you're about to go. So again, none of these is any more correct than the other, but what you can do is mix it up in your paper. You might use this for your first body paragraph, you might use this one for your second, and for your third, then you can use this as well. So all of those work well to help to get people into your next body paragraph that you're starting. Now, you can't just list your topic sentence because obviously, just like your thesis statement, you got to back it up. You need to have supporting points. So let me give you an example right here. And the best way to think about how to back up and support a body paragraph is to think in threes. Remember, with your thesis statement, 3 is kind of a magic number in argument. If you can come up with 3 reasons why you believe what you believe, if you can come up with 3 points to back up and support what it is that you have to say, that's pretty convincing. 1 generally doesn't get you there. 2, you're starting to convince people. By the time you get to 3, they're pretty well, interested, or at least they can understand what it is that you're trying to argue with 3. So that's what I'm pushing in this particular class, or with this particular lesson, is if you can try to back up your every topic sentence with 3 clear points, you're going to make it a lot better paper. So let's look at an example. The topic sentence is another, and this should be reason my car is the best gift I've ever received is because it has wonderful interior. Okay, so now your reader reads this topic sentence and he or she says, all right, so why is it so great? What do you think is so great about your interior? You need to have supporting points to back up that topic sentence. So, what is it that makes it so wonderful? Well, first of all, it has comfortable leather seats. That's a really good point. Another one might be, even though you're talking about leather, it might be the leather dash and door panels. The seats, because they're leather, are comfortable, but the leather dash and door panels just look awesome. It makes it look cool. You might also say the amazing stereo, because that's part of the interior as well. So all of these might be points. You might, even if you were writing a paper about the interior of your car, might talk about the digital display and the readout. It just looks awesome. You may talk about something else like the carpet is easy to clean. Whatever your points are, those need to back up that topic sentence. And you can pretty much tell right here, if your points don't back up that topic sentence, they are off topic. So if you were to mention something about the exterior of the car as a point, you would be off topic, because this topic sentence is telling us that this paragraph is only going to deal with the wonderful interior. Let me show you another one. Myrtle Beach is also a bad place to live because of the traffic problems. So if you're writing about the traffic problems, give me some points to back it up. Well, first of all, one reason there's bad traffic problems is there's a limited number of main roads. There's not as many roads, so traffic backs up. Tourists who aren't paying attention to the roads because they're looking at all of the other things that surround this, that are surrounding us. Many drunk drivers, when people go on vacation, when they go on golf trips, they may drink a little bit more than they should and get in their cars, so that can also cause traffic problems. So notice that each of these points right here backs up this topic sentence, which is Myrtle Beach has traffic problems. One last one. The final problem with living in an apartment is the lack of privacy. All right, so help me to understand, why do you feel there's a lack of privacy? Well, one reason is because the walls are thin. If you live in a lot of apartments, you can hear your neighbors, or you can, listen to the conversations that they are having. Your neighbors can easily see when you come and go. I used to live near a guy that every time I pulled into the parking lot, he would walk outside to talk to me because he saw my car pulling in, and I was parked right in front of where he lived, so he would come out and chat. Hard to have privacy when people can see you pull in and their place is right next to where you park. Apartment windows often face common areas or parking lots. If you've ever lived in an apartment and you've been changing clothes, you may look over and go, oh my God, my window's open, and somebody's outside going, hey, thanks for the show. So all of those back up the lack of privacy that you have in apartments. So hopefully this then makes this clear what it is that you need to do in each body paragraph. Now let's just take a look at what this is going to look like at least formatting wise for your body paragraph, because in the next presentation I'm going to give, I'm going to show you how to develop each of those points. But let's just look at what this looks like formatting wise. Notice that in this paragraph you have a clear topic sentence at the top, which is in red. Finally, tech is a great choice for high school graduates because it offers multiple options for education. Notice that you have 3 points that are listed here in yellow. And the reason that those are where they are is because they are separated by explanations and examples, which I'm going to talk about in the next video. But we can look at this and see, what are the multiple options for education? One is there are 3 different campus locations. That certainly is a showing multiple options. Another is that they have different class dates and times. So you have different options for when you can take the class and at what time. And finally, we have online courses at Tech, which gives multiple options which shows a different options for education. So notice that each of these points right here backs up and supports this topic sentence. And so in the next video, what I'm going to show you is what all this other stuff is in this paragraph that is going to complete this paragraph and is going to make it completely whole. So hopefully this has been useful, and that's going to conclude this particular presentation. Next one is going to turn this paragraph from just bare bones skeleton into something that is fully developed, that is hopefully going to lead to a clear essay, and at its best we're just going to be pragmatic to a really good grade as well.